Join me as I dive into the Bible and tackle the incredible story of one angel going up against 185,000 soldiers. Can I break it down for you in a way that makes it all make sense? The Bible is full of amazing accounts of faith, courage, and the power of God. And today we're going to explore one of the most mind-blowing stories in Scripture. It's a tale of an epic battle between the forces of good and evil, where one solitary angel takes on an army of 185,000 soldiers. This story is an incredible testament to the power of faith and the sovereignty of God, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's dive in and see what we can learn from this incredible biblical account. As we set the stage for this remarkable event, let's remember that the Bible is a book of history, and the events we're about to explore really did happen. This is not just some mythical tale or ancient legend. It's a real story that has been passed down to us through the centuries. Discussing the context of this event is crucial to understanding its significance. So let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. The people of Israel were facing a massive threat from the Assyrian Empire, which was one of the most powerful empires of the ancient world. The Assyrians were notorious for their brutal tactics and their paganism, and they saw the Israelites as a threat to their dominance. The Assyrian army, led by King Sennacherib, marched on Jerusalem, intent on destroying the city and its people. The situation looked bleak for the Israelites, and King Hezekiah was at a loss for what to do. He knew that his people were vastly outnumbered and outgunned, and it seemed like all hope was lost. But Hezekiah was a man of faith, and he knew that God was his only hope. He turned to the prophet Isaiah for guidance, and Isaiah told him to trust in the Lord. Isaiah's prophecy was clear. God would deliver the Israelites from the Assyrian threat, and he would do it in a way that would showcase his power and glory. The Assyrian army was massive, with 185,000 soldiers camped outside the gates of Jerusalem. They were confident in their own strength and ability, and they mocked the God of Israel, thinking that he was no match for their military might. But God had other plans. He was about to show the Assyrians and the entire world that he was the one true God and that his power was unmatched. As the Assyrian army slept, God sent an angel to do his bidding. This was no ordinary angel. It was a messenger of God, sent to perform a mighty work. The biblical narrative tells us that the angel struck down the Assyrian army, killing 185,000 soldiers in one night. It was a massacre of epic proportions, and it sent shockwaves throughout the ancient world. The Assyrian army was decimated, and King Sennacherib was forced to retreat back to his own country. The Israelites were saved, and they knew that it was God who had delivered them. This event is more than just a miraculous intervention. It's also a profound theological statement. It's a declaration of God's power and sovereignty over all the nations of the earth. When we look at this event in the context of the biblical narrative, we see that it's not just an isolated miracle, it's part of a much larger story. It's a story of God's faithfulness to his people and his desire to redeem and restore them. The angel's intervention is not just a one-time event. It's a pattern of God's behavior throughout the Bible. Time and time again, we see God stepping in to deliver his people from impossible situations. So what does this mean for us today? It means that we can have confidence in God's power and sovereignty over our lives. We can trust that he is working everything out for our good, even when things seem darkest. The moment when the angel acts as a turning point in the story, and it's a powerful reminder of God's ability to intervene in our lives. It's a call to faith, inviting us to trust in God's power and love. As we reflect on this incredible story, let's remember the power of faith and the sovereignty of God. Let's ask ourselves, do we trust in God's ability to deliver us from our own impossible situations? In conclusion, the story of one angel versus 185,000 soldiers is a powerful reminder of God's power and love. It's a call to faith, inviting us to trust in God's ability to deliver us from anything that comes our way. If you're inspired by this story and want to explore more biblical miracles, be sure to check out my other videos. And if you have any thoughts on this incredible story, share them with me in the comments below.